Cell is the basic unit of all living organisms. It is surrounded by a cell surface membrane and contains genetic material called DNA, and cytoplasms containing organelles. Cell contains membrane cell and protoplasms, and in protoplasms contains nucleus and cytoplasms, and in cytoplasms contains cytosol and organelles. And there are two types of cell, namely eukaryote and prokaryote. Eukaryote is an organism whose cells contain a nucleus and other membrane bone organelles. And prokaryote is an organism whose cells don't contain a nucleus or any other membrane bone organelles.
Eukaryote cell divide into two types, namely animal cell and plant cell. Features by plant cell are: first, the plasma membrane. The plasma membrane is also termed as the cell membrane. It is a selective permeable membrane of the cell, which is composed of lipid layers and proteins. The next feature is cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is jelly-like substance found between the cell membrane and nucleus. They are mainly composed of water, organic, and inorganic compounds. The next feature is nucleus. The nucleus is a double membrane organelle found in all eukaryotic cells. It is the largest organelle which functions as the control center of the cellular activities and is the storehouse of the cell's DNA. The next feature is endoplasmic reticulum. There are two different types of endoplasmic reticulum. The first one is raw endoplasmic reticulum. This is the site of protein synthesis for external use. And then smooth endoplasmic reticulum. This is the site of steroid synthesis. The next feature is mitochondria. Mitochondria is an oval-shaped membrane-bound organelle, also called as the powerhouse of the cell, the main site of cellular respiration, and also involved in storing energy in the form of ATP molecules. The next feature is plastids. Plastids are membrane-bound organelles. There are three types of plastid. The first one, leucoplast, it's colorless plastid. The next one, chromoplast, it's blue, red, and yellow color plastid. And then chloroplast, it's green color plastid. Plastid help in the process of photosynthesis and pollination, impart color to leaves, flowers, fruits, and store starch, protein, and fats. The next feature is ribosome. Ribosomes are non-membrane bound and important cytoplasmic organelle found in close association with the endoplasmic reticulum. The primary function of the ribosome includes protein synthesis in all living cells that ensure the survival of the cell. The next feature is Golgi apparatus. Golgi apparatus is also termed as Golgi complex. It is membrane-bound organelle, which is mainly composed of the series of the flattened, stake pouches called cisternae. This cell's organelle is primarily responsible for transporting, modifying, and packaging protein and lipids to target destination. The next feature is vacuoles. Vacuoles are mostly defined as a storage bubble of irregular shapes which is found in cells. They are fluid-filled organelle enclosed by a membrane. The vacuole stores the food or the variety of nutrients that a cell might need to survive. And the next feature is lysosomes, a tiny circle-shaped single membrane-bound organelle filled with the digestive enzymes. Help in the digestion and remove waste and digest that and damaged cell. Therefore, it is also causes suicidal bags.
Animal cell. Animal cell mostly have similarity, but there are some organelles that plant cell doesn't have. The features are: first, centrosome and centriole. The centrosome organelle is made up of two mutually perpendicular structures known as centriole. The centriole from the basal bodies of the cilia and flagella give rise to spindle fibrils during cell division. Second, vacuoles. The animal and plant cell have different size and number of vacuoles compared to the animals. Plant cells have a larger vacuoles. Next, about endosymbiotic theory. Endosymbiotic theory is a theory suggesting that the organelles such as a mitochondria and chloroplast within the eukaryotic cell came about as a result of the early endosymbiosis between prokaryotic endosymbionts and eukaryotic host cells. That's why chloroplast and mitochondria have same characteristic with prokaryotic cells such as F70S ribosome and circular DNA. And then next about prokaryotic cells. Prokaryotes lack membrane-bound organelles. They are smaller than eukaryotic cells. Their ribosomes are structurally smaller in comparison of those found in eukaryotic cells. And bacteria and virus are prokaryotic organisms. Bacteria is a group of single-celled prokaryotic microorganisms. They have a number of characteristics such as the ability to form spores, which distinguishes them from the other group of prokaryotes known as archaea. The structure of bacteria are: first, flagellum for motion; second, capsule for protection; third, mesosomes. The function is may allow photosynthesis or carry out nitrogen fixation; fourth, plasmid, a small circle of DNA; fifth, pili. Pili is for attachment to other cells surface involved in sexual production; sixth, saval that containing peptidoglycan; seventh, cell surface membrane; eighth is cytoplasm; ninth is circular DNA; and ten is ribosomes.
Virus is a very small infectious particle which can replicate only inside living cells. It consists of a molecule of DNA or RNA surrounded by a protein coat. An outer living envelope may also be present. And viruses have similarities features of bacteria. Consist of RNA molecule protected by a protective protein coat called capsid. Capsid made up of proteins called capsomer. One outside a protein envelope gives it another layer of protection. Glycoproteins or lipids stuck out from the envelope.